Good afternoon, welcome back to another video on the channel. So breaking news in the tennis world this afternoon is that Jannik Sinner, the world number one, has failed two anti-doping drug tests back in March of 2024. So I'm going to pick apart the key information of this statement and then give my opinion. So in April of 2024, Jannik Sinner was informed that he had failed two anti-doping drug tests that were taken in March for a drug called clostebol. Now, clostebol can be used as a performance-enhancing drug, but I think the key and vital piece of this whole investigation and statement is that he failed for less than a billionth of a gram of the drug being in his system, which in my opinion categorically concludes that in no way did Jannik Sinner knowingly enhance his performance, and in no way would 1 billionth of a gram of that drug enhance your performance in any way, which in my opinion makes him innocent. Now, the statement says that his physio bought a over-the-counter spray to treat a cut. I believe clostebol is one of the only places you can buy it left in the world is Italy, and he treated his own cut with the spray and then treated Jannik Sinner without wearing a pair of gloves, and that is how the drug entered Jannik Sinner's system. And as you can see there, Jannik is completely, fully cooperated with the ITIA's investigation from the beginning. They accepted that he had done no wrongdoing and that the drug had entered his system through his physio's hand, and he therefore was not provisionally suspended and has been free to continue his career. He won't be undergoing any ban. He can play the US Open as planned, although he will lose the points and prize money that he won at Indian Wells, which was around the time of the drugs testing. Now, onto what I mean for Jannik Sinner. He can now look forward to his upcoming rest of the season. Will this impact him mentally will remain to be seen. He's got a huge tournament coming up at the US Open, especially after winning Cincinnati Masters last night. There's definitely going to be a cloud over his name now and lots of questions and debates about whether Jannik Sinner is a clean athlete. I have no doubt in my mind that he is, but some people will categorically believe that any failed drugs test should bring a ban, and some people will always believe that. Now, what it means for tennis, first off, it's not a good look at all. I think when anyone fails a drugs test in a sport, you have to cloud your judgment, and you're never completely going to know what was behind the failed drugs tests. And to be a world number one, Jannik's such an unbelievable ambassador for the sport on and off the court, but it does bring the sport slightly into disrepute when one of the top players does fail a drugs test. And in my opinion, Sinner is completely innocent. As I've said, less than a billionth of a gram is going to have no impact on your playing performance whatsoever. It's entered his body through his physio, and I do think Sinner has been, quite lapse. And I don't think any professional athlete, let alone a world number one, should ever fail a drugs test. They've got an obligation to know what is going exactly into their system. That's why we have drugs testing, to stop any performance enhancing use. And I feel like Sinner will have to sort of reflect on this and make sure it never happens again, because it's not a good look for a player of his quality or any professional player in that sense. And the two biggest questions for me that come out of this are, would other players a lot lower down the rankings have been given the same treatment? We know Simona Halep was provisionally suspended as soon as she failed the drugs test and missed a lot of tennis. Same happened to one of the British players, Tara Moore, who was provisionally suspended. And had he not been world number one, say if he was 100th in the world, would he have been given an immediate provisional suspension while the investigation went on? Who knows? But I think it's certainly questions, and I think it needs outlining of exactly what happens whenever a drugs test is failed. Because whether Jannik Sinner is innocent or not, and whatever your opinion is on it, he has failed two anti-doping drugs tests. And until that investigation is fully concluded, I'm personally not sure whether he should be playing on the tennis court. But that's, as I say, a question open up for debate. And yeah, I'm going to finish it there really, because that is my opinion. I do believe Jannik Sinner is completely innocent. I wish him well. I hope he goes on to have a fantastic career. I'm a huge fan of his. I think he's a fantastic ambassador for tennis on and off the court. It only brings negative light to tennis as well. So I hope that's the end of it now, and he doesn't get bombarded with questions from the media. But when you do fail two anti-doping drugs tests and you are world number one of one of the biggest sports on the planet, then no doubt questions are going to come. So if you do want to leave your opinions on it in the comment section below, I do always enjoy reading those. If you would like and subscribe to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated, and I will see you on the next video.